All right, it kind of looks crazy, and it is, but there's a couple reasons why I like using this over some other options. Now, throughout the entire build, there is only one battery. Well, let me just show you real quick, but this monitor does not have a slot for a battery. Now I got you thinking, right? What the heck? Now this right here is the Feelworld P6XL, and it's a new monitor that is going to be taking you into the new age of cinematography. And if you don't believe me, well, just watch. Now the Feelworld P6XL is a 6-inch monitor that outputs at a resolution of 4K at 30 FPS. But the biggest thing about this is the fact that there is no battery. So you're essentially getting a bigger screen for your camera without the added extra components. We're going to be going in depth with this monitor, going into the build quality, specs, and why this might be useful for your next shoot. And let me tell you, this is pretty darn useful. Now, when Feelworld came out with this monitor, I honestly think they were thinking of the average creator out there. Someone that needs something portable, fast, and also looks really good. And straight out the box, they also give you everything you also need. It comes with the monitor itself and a couple accessories like the hot shoe mount and even a sunshade, but you're also getting an HDMI cable and an extra mounting plate. Now, taking a look at the monitor itself, you can tell that the entire frame is made of an aluminum metal here, making it durable and easy to bring around. That way, when you're just throwing it into your bag, you don't have to worry. Now, the monitor weighs at about 332 grams, so it's pretty light, especially with the fact that there is a battery built in. And with the 4K 6-inch IPS screen on the front here, you'll have no problem viewing any of the things on your camera screen. Now, the first thing that you'll also notice is the fact that there is nothing on the back, there is nothing on the top, and there's only one side that has a bunch of buttons and ports. Besides the bottom that does have a USB-C, but there's a reason why they put it there, and it's a little bit more convenient. Now, it only has a power button, a headphone jack, an HDMI in, and a USB-C for upgrading, and a USB-C for any power delivery. Now, in terms of the HDMI on the side here, it only supports a signal of 4K at 30 FPS, and the highest FPS rating is at 60 at 1080p. They pretty much made this monitor as simple as possible. So on the back, you'll see that there is no ports for any batteries. You can't actually slot in an NPF, and there isn't anything that actually touches here. Now, there is still a 3000 milliamp battery inside, meaning you'll have a runtime of about 2 hours at 100% brightness, and the screen does go up to 1200 nits, so it does get pretty darn bright, especially in the sun. And we'll show a little couple working moments here where it is being used in the sun here, but I didn't have a sunshade, and it honestly still did pretty good. Now, you'll also notice that along the entire monitor, there are some vents and little ports for your fan. That way you have an intake and outtake for any cold air to kind of process that overheating. Not saying it overheats at all either, but it does get a little bit warmer just because there is a battery. However, I haven't had an instance where this didn't work. Now, to turn it on, all you have to do is just long press this side button for a couple seconds, and now you're able to actually see the screen, and it just pops up like this, and all your info is instantly displayed. And you're probably also wondering, well, there isn't any buttons on the top or their side, so how do we actually control this thing? And, you know, touchscreen, baby. So you don't actually have any buttons, or any physical buttons at least, and you're able to double tap your menus just to toggle it on and off. Now, Feelworld has always been pretty immersive in all of their menu settings, and we'll dive a little bit into it, but I will say they do include a bunch of professional tools for a monitor in this price range. Now, you do have access to your waveform, vectors, histograms, focus assist. You even can embed your audio straight through the HDMI port, and your typical zebra patterns, color fields, and even access to false color options. Now, that's all things that kind of help you, but you also have access to different grids, even safe margins, which not a lot of people know about. And then my favorite, the center marker, that really helps nail the focus whenever you use a single point autofocusing system. And you even have access to different ratio modes, so you can even toggle something to show only a vertical format if you're shooting for horizontal or vertical. Now, again, it doesn't end there, because you even have access to scan modes, aspect ratios, anamorphic modes, which are really useful for those that just like to switch between different kind of lenses, and you're even able to load your LUTs onto this. Now all of that can be accessed by double tapping on your screen, and you can see all the menu items just kind of pop up here, but you also have access to toggle them on and off by simply swiping up and just tapping on anything that you need, which is pretty useful. But they added a couple other features as well. By simply dragging your finger across the screen, you can actually change the backlight options and just simply dim whenever you need, or just brighten it when you want as well. So you can just swipe across the screen and it'll darken or brighten your image, but you can even swipe up and down to change the volume of your audio, which is a really interesting tidbit for those users out there. So like I said, they make this whole UI very simple to use. And this honestly just makes it a lot more intuitive for those that just want simple access and nothing too complicated. Now, before we get past the UI UX, I just want to talk about loading LUTs. Loading your LUTs isn't actually quite complicated. All you have to do is connect it into your PC and you'll be able to drag and drop your files as needed. Now, getting into actually using this monitor, bringing this was a lot more convenient than I thought. I've used a ton of monitors. I've tested things that are smaller than this, and some of them that are just ridiculously huge and used for an actual video village. But most of my shoots require something like this, a run and gun monitor that is easy to use, bring, and just set up. And I won't be lying if I didn't say that this is the easiest monitor I've ever used. Typically on a shoot, I will bring a monitor, and in order to actually use that monitor, I will need to bring extra battery. More often than not, those batteries do die out eventually, and you can just bring a charger for those batteries, but let's be real, you're trying to travel around and bring this all in a mobile fashion. That's a lot more to work with. Now with this, being able to actually have a battery built into the back of the monitor, you just need to bring this and a cable to attach it to. And on paper, it does say it has a 2-hour runtime. However, I'm not running at 100% brightness all the time. And even if I am running at 100% brightness, I honestly haven't seen this monitor die out anything less than 2 hours. So I will say that this monitor does last for quite a while. Even so, they have included a USB-C at the bottom in order to charge the monitor. And I can confirm you can also power the monitor through the USB-C if you just want to have something continuous for more than half a day. Now, bringing on shoots, I haven't noticed any kind of overheating at all as well, and I've run this directly in sunlight without any sunshade, monitoring at 4K 30, and it still worked perfectly fine. Do I even have to talk about latency either? Because usually with wireless monitors that might be an issue, but because everything is wired, there really isn't a latency issue. Now, I will say one thing about this monitor is the fact that this right here has a certain port. This is the included plate that comes with the monitor, and it allows you to actually have different mounting points for it. That way you don't only have that one threaded option. Now on the bottom of the monitor, it does have RE locating pins, but on this there isn't any RE locating pins, so it only uses that one screw. And if you are mounting things from this, you might want to get a tighter screw, because this thing just kind of mounts right on like this, and if it only has one screw, it still tilts here and there. So if they did build this with an RE locating pin, that'd be honestly great. Other than that, the monitor itself is fine. This right here is a lot more convenient to just set up and go, because if you're telling me I can output at a 4K resolution on a monitor that just needs to bring itself, that's all I really need. We don't need to bring any fancy batteries anymore, and it's a lot easier to pack. It's not absurdly huge, but big enough that it actually is convenient to use for viewing your monitor. And knowing me, I honestly have terrible eyesight sometimes, so being able to see everything like your peaks, your zebras, or anything that is highlighting, very convenient to actually own. As you can see on my setup here, all I have to do is just slide it on and just lock it in place. Because I have a NATO rail on it, everything is pretty convenient and can be torn down pretty quickly. And because of that super low profile, I can now tilt this all the way down and not have to worry. Look at that. It's kind of acting like a sunshade here. But before, if you did have a monitor with a battery on the back, that wouldn't be the case. So any low angle moments, I'm able to actually pull this out, tilt it all the way down, and just view it like that. And when I'm done, all I have to do is just unlatch this, pull it out, and throw it in my bag. I don't know why it's so complicated that monitors can't be built like this. I also don't know why everyone always went towards an NPF format that they can just keep reusing. We're in 2025 here, a USB-C is all we need. You could still wire it if you need to, but what's the point of now having those big bulky batteries when you could just use something like this? And for the price range at only 200 USD, you really can't go wrong. I would buy 5 of these and just use this on multicam setups. Not only that, I think this might be even more convenient as a director's monitor, because if you want to view things and all you need is a mounting plate for a transmitter, that yes, you do need a battery for that, but if you don't grab a big one, honestly these transmitters last for quite a while. The only thing being powered that you really need or consumes a lot of power is the monitor, but that's now taken care of. So a very versatile setup using as a director's monitor here that makes it a little bit easier for those run and gun situations, or if you're just shooting a commercial on the go. Now, other than a setup like this right here, you can honestly just bring this on top of your camera and it makes it a lot easier to view things without all of that hassle. Again, the point of these cameras is to become as versatile as possible, and that's why a lot of cinematographers or filmmakers are gravitating towards them. So this being the right step in that direction makes it a lot more convenient and easy to use. But honestly, for those people that are super lazy, also really convenient. Anyways, the P6XL is very easy and convenient to bring around on any kind of shoot. With again, 4K 30 FPS, a total screen size of 6 inches, and the fact that it is super intuitive to use and easy to set up. This is made for new and old filmmakers alike. For those that are just looking to dive into their first monitor, and for those that know the struggle of setting up a monitor and want to cut that time down into literally half. But if you like that video, go ahead and drop a like down below, or let me know if you want to see something else, like maybe building out this rig for you. Other than that, you should probably subscribe too. You don't have to, but I'd appreciate it. Anyways, I did actually eat dinner already, but I did want to get bubble tea. And my friends are waiting for me outside, so see you later.